Speaker, I love this House, and one of the reasons that I do, sir, is because you can feel the mood of the place change week by week. And the mood of this House has changed this week because the national government knows it's game on. And it's game on because New Zealanders have a choice. On the one hand, they have a government that wants to slash and burn services for New Zealanders and sell off the family silver to cover 6 months' deficit based on tax cuts for people who didn't need them. That is what National is offering. And what Labour is offering is paying down debt, keeping our assets, growing our economy and getting New Zealanders back to work so we own our future. We will own our future. We will govern for all New Zealanders, and we have a plan. Mr. Speaker, National has no plan, and that's why under National, New Zealand's been going backwards. They don't have a plan to get the economy going. They are out of touch with ordinary New Zealanders. They are not working for Kiwi families, but for their big bucks mates and foreign interests who are going to clip the ticket on New Zealand's family silver. Mr. Speaker, Labour will give the country the start it needs. It will give everybody a fair go with a tax plan and a growth plan that will get New Zealand back to work, make sure everybody gets a fair chance and make sure everybody pays their fair share. Mr. Speaker, it was very interesting to hear Bill English, the man who said that Labour left the books in reasonable shape. That was an understatement, of course. 7.6% of GDP net credit was very reasonable in 2008. He has now said he's now presided over a $17 billion budget hole, growing to $20 billion this year, and he has the temerity to lecture us about fiscal prudence. He has the temerity, Mr. Speaker, because he does not have a plan of his own. Slash and burn, flog the family silver, run the country into the ground with tax cuts for the rich that New Zealand could never afford. And on Labour's side, sir, we get to pay down debt, keep our assets, grow the economy, get New Zealanders back to work so we can own our future. And we will do it with a plan that is fair to all and with which everybody will contribute. Mr. Speaker, Stephen Joyce tried to defend the competitive economy. Isn't that the same minister who's given sweetheart deals to broadcasters in an election year, or given a new fibre monopoly to an incumbent telco, driving competition out of the wholesale layer? And he has as much right to lecture us on competition as Bill English does on fiscal management. He's railing against a straw man that National has created, arguing that there's going to be a 30% capital gains tax. Well, who's ever said that? Because Labour hasn't made its announcements yet. We're going to make an announcement next week that is going to change the course of this country. Not just this election, but this country, because it is going to set a pathway for a long-term future. A future that New Zealanders can own. A future that New Zealanders can believe in, because it will show a clear pathway out of the hole we're in, and a pathway that doesn't depend on slash and burn of the state or selling off the family silver. New Zealanders don't want that. They don't want that, and if those members were listening to New Zealanders, they would be very worried right now, because New Zealanders are getting the clear idea that they have a real choice. That on November the 26th, they can vote for the short-term expediency of slash and sell, or the long-term wisdom of build and grow. And they want to build. New Zealanders want a country that's going forwards, not going backwards, where we actually do close the gap with our nearest neighbour, not widen it, where we get people back to work, not grow unemployment, where we build for the future, not sell the future to pay the debt holes that have been created today. Mr. Speaker, It's going to be an interesting week in politics.
Amy Adams.